Welcome back. Have you heard of Nisa Helpline? If you are a Muslim woman, you can get help and support by connecting with trained counselors who care. I'm joined by Shelliza Mohammed Ali. She's Operations Manager of Nisa Helpline. Shelliza, welcome to Let the Quran Speak.
Thank you.
I'm so excited that you could come here to speak about Nisa Helpline.
I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, can you tell me, Shelliza, what is the nature of the calls that you get? What kind of call? Why do people call Nisa Helpline?
So Nisa Helpline is a peer counseling resource, and people call us for a wide range of reasons. So we are a non-judgmental, confidential peer support for Muslim women, and people call us for whatever they're going through. So whether you're going through, you're having problems processing your thoughts through a situation regarding your marriage, or you're going through some grief, or you just need somebody to talk to, those are all good reasons to call Nisa Helpline, and that's what we're here for.
Mm-hmm. What areas does Nisa Helpline service?
So Nisa Helpline is a North American service for Muslim women. The phone number is accessible to anybody in North America. Mm-hmm. So that's Canada and US.
Yes. So I understand that your Nisa Helpline is mostly, no, it's solely for women, right?
It is solely for women.
What's the reasoning behind that?
So we believe that women are an integral part of our society and are not to discredit the problems that men go through, but there's so much strength in when women support each other, and the issues that women go through sometimes require another woman. I'm sure you can understand that, Sophia. And that is sort of one of the core reasons why our resource is for women, by women.
Now, how does it work? How does Nisa Helpline work?
So Nisa Helpline, how we work is we are across the country. We are all volunteers that have trained counselors to answer the phone. So you have a phone number. We have a 1-855 number that you call. When you call, one of our counselors will pick up and we'll get it right into what you're looking for, what type of support you're looking for today.
How many hours does the helpline operate per day?
12 hours.
12 hours. And there's somebody so when you call, somebody from some part of the country will pick up the phone and be able to help you?
So one of our counselors will pick up the phone and chat with you. Yes.
And what sort of training do counselors get?
So all our counselors come with some background in counseling, with some psychology. On top of that, on Nisa Helpline, we work with psychologists. We work with a lot of people in our Muslim community as well to train our counselors on different types of situations. So our counselors are trained, they're professionally trained, and they're equipped to answer the calls.
So now you say that you refer people to other services. What kind of services do you refer them to?
So because our service is, there's such a wide range, you can call us about anything. We work with a resource, I would call it a resource database, let's call it that. And in that database, we have a multitude of support, other networks that work with us. So whether it's a women's shelter, or it's a lawyer, or it's a family doctor, whatever that is, we have a resource that we'll access. Sometimes we don't have services in that resource database, and we access community resources. So if somebody's calling about, let's say, new immigrants, and they're calling in asking for, where do I learn English? We'll work with them. We'll find out, where are you? Let's help get that going for you.
Because the resources that you have, they have to be, location specific as well, right?
So they do have to be location specific, and that's where, we'll work with the caller. We'll ask them, so, what is the need for you? And if it is that you want to tell us your city and you want us to help you find what that is, we'll do that for you. Sometimes our calls are, just to give you an idea of our calls, sometimes our calls do require continuous care, and that's where, we do have our network of other services that we'll refer them to that we work with. So whether it's, a good example is professional counselors or doctors that will offer continuous care for our callers.
What about, in times of crisis, if somebody, let's say somebody calls and they need help right away, they're in an emergency situation, what do you do in that case?
So just to keep it high level, so what we do, our counselors are trained for, depending on the situation, but essentially we are not a crisis line, but we are equipped to get that service to you. So we will work with them, we will talk to them, we'll keep them on the line, and we will work with external services to get help to them, whatever that help is.
Can you tell me any situation in which you helped somebody? Like, do you have any stories that you could share about individuals
so many.
who came back to you and maybe said, wow, you know, that really made a difference in my life?
We have so many, but let me tell you about this one particular one that always stands out to me. So there was one sister after a domestic situation, let's call it that. She ended up hiding out in a masjid, pregnant and with a toddler.
Oh, wow.
She was there for 3 days. She had packed a little bag of snacks.
Yeah.
And that's what she was living off.
That's very resourceful because, you know, with a toddler plus pregnant, you know, and plus being a woman in a mosque, it's not very comfortable.
It's not very comfortable, and plus she was hiding. I think she didn't want people to know that she was there because she was really just confused. She had nowhere to go. She was new to the country. Her relationship did not allow her for a place to live anymore, so the only place she could find was the mosque. Within those 3 days, I believe at the end of the 3 days, she found her card, a business card, an Isaac card, and she called. As soon as she called, our team was on it. We worked with the mosque, with the local masjid where she was to get her food right away, a place to stay. We also worked to long-term solution. We long to find her a long-term solution. We're happy to report that 2 years later, she is a working mom with her own apartment, and who came back to tell us, thank you, because this is where it started. This is where she was able to pull her life together and continue on with her story.
And she's fine now?
She's fine.
Oh, that's
Alhamdulillah,
amazing.
she's fine.
You know, we see and hear a lot of stories like that. I mean, when I was younger, I worked a lot in this Islamic center, and people would come in with all sorts of stories of domestic violence, you know, conflict within the home, teenagers, for example, having trouble with their parents understanding them, and then, you know, you don't know what to do, right?
Yeah.
So I'm really glad that there's a service like that where we can refer people, because sometimes, I remember one case where we had a mother and a daughter, and we didn't know where to refer them. They came to us in the middle of the night, and they were crying, and you know, and there was it was domestic violence, and we had, where do we put them? You know, the shelters are closed, nobody's available, so we ended up taking them home with us that day. But you know, knowing that there's something like this, I mean, you can refer them to, you know, the Nisa Helpline.
Yes, definitely. I mean, our counselors will work with the caller. We'll figure out what they need. Is it a shelter? Is it, you know, like what do they need at that time, and what does long-term care look like for that person? So that is essentially what we do, but we do it over the phone.
Yeah, and I guess one difficulty is that it's anonymous. So how do they get that long-term care?
So it all depends. So if we're talking to a caller and we're at the point where we do realize, our counselors will be able to pinpoint there is some need for continuous care. We will work with the caller to, you know, we're all about self-discovery. Do they want that type of resource? And then we'll let that conversation go in that direction. We will never ask you, tell us where you are so we can help you. That is not how we work, but we will work with you for your own self-discovery. And if it is long-term care, we'll offer you. So we'll say, you know what, there are actually counselors that I can connect you with that can help you work through this, where you would have an in-person experience. So we would explain that to them. And if that's something that they're looking for, we'll find different ways. So if you're not okay to give me your location, that's fine too. Let me tell you how to find it. How about I just give you a phone number that you can call? I'm always offering you something if that's what is established that you need there. Also keep in mind that sometimes people just need somebody to talk to. And that's what we're there for as well. So people will call us, sisters will call us. And a lot of times I like to say, when I talk to our counselors about these types of calls, I say, you know what, you're the soundboard. They already knew. They already knew what they were going through. They probably already knew the situation, but they needed somebody who was not in their circle, who would not judge them, who would understand just the layers of
complexity of whatever they're going through. Yeah.
And just help them navigate that conversation to self-discover. So we're a soundboard a lot of times, I would say, because a lot of times we do know what we need. We just need that support. We just need that other voice, that somebody else is telling you that you can do it. And our counselors do that really well.
Shelliza, how important is it to have religiously and culturally sensitive sort of counseling or support?
It's a good question. So one of the barriers to, or one of the thought process, which essentially is a barrier to accessing help, is the additional burden of, will they understand me?
Yeah.
Will you understand, will that person understand the complexities of what I go through? Do they know what it's like to be Muslim? Do they know what it's like to wear hijab? Do they know what it's like to decide not to wear hijab if that's the direction that I want to go? Having a service, having counselors, a group, you know, an organization like ours where we do understand. Our counselors go through that all the time. We are fully aware of the complexities of religion, the complexities of culture, and how it plays in a Muslim woman's life.
And how difficult some decisions might be, you know, for someone who's not Muslim, they might not, or you know, they might not just understand our culture. For example, the family culture, how difficult it is to separate from your family, for example, or separate from your community. They might not get that.
Yeah.
And they might just leave your family.
Then
it's, you know, well, do you understand the implications for me?
Yeah.
You know,
do you know what I'm going through? Do you
exactly.
know,
so you have to explain. I guess,
yeah.
you know, if you go to somebody who doesn't understand you, there's a lot more explanation that you have to go through.
Yeah, and you know, as a person in need, as a person thinking, do I access help? When I have, you know, if I think about it, if I had to go in and have a conversation with someone and say, well, actually, that will not work because in my family, this is how we think, that's an additional barrier. And I don't want to deal with that. In fact, that may now become the problem. I now need to explain.
I hear a lot of people saying, well, I don't want to go to counseling because, you know, I can't find a good counselor who understands me.
Yeah, no, that is, you know, as we are getting into a time where mental health is being talked about, it's another barrier that Muslim women face. Will they understand me? I get that I may need help, but now I need to go and explain that how my family structure works or how my belief system works, because that's where I'm in conflict, right? And having a service where, you know, we get that, it's very important. It's opening up access.
Yeah. How can people support Nisa Helpline if they want to?
So there are many ways that you can support us. Right now, I think the biggest ask is that you help create awareness that we are, of who we are and what we do. Our Muslim community is growing, and there are many sisters that may not know where they should go, or they're in need and they don't know who to call. Help us create awareness on the services that we have. Follow us on social media, like, share, you guys know the drill. Our upcoming Ramadan is coming, and we will have a Ramadan campaign that we are always looking for supporters. So here you're going to look out for the campaign. We'll be at your masjids, we'll be online, and you're gonna donate, like, share, donate, whatever order you prefer. And then of course, always check our website. We're always looking for volunteers. We're always looking for, you know, if you have a service that you think we can share, that we can benefit from, reach out, we're here.
Shelliza, thank you so much for appearing on our show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Sophia.
And I wish you all the best with Nisa Helpline.
Thank you.
Hey YouTube, we hope you benefited from this video. If you liked it, or if you didn't, let us know in the comments below. And if you're interested in learning more, check out some of our other videos. And don't forget to subscribe so you can get new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.